Most apparel and merch brands assume designs or marketing is their biggest hurdle. But there's an unseen pitfall that can sink your profits even faster. But here's the twist. It's not your branding, it's not your marketing, it's inventory management. And if you ignore it, it doesn't matter how gorgeous your designs are or how massive your audience is, you will lose sales, customers, and money. Today, I'm sitting down with Brian, Threadbird's Director of Operations for over 6 years. And he's a 20-year veteran of warehousing and inventory management. He has seen it all. Together, we'll reveal the biggest inventory mistakes brands make and how to dodge them. If you want to stop bleeding cash on dead stock, avoiding embarrassing inventory shortages, and finally get a handle on your supply chain, you're in the right place. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to manage your inventory like a pro, so you can stay profitable, delight your customers, and grow your brand without all the chaos. Let's get started. Brian, I'm so excited that you're here today with us because you have been an incredible part of the Threadbird team. Your knowledge when it comes to inventory management is insane. I know personally how much I've learned from you in these last 6 years, and I would not be here today without your knowledge. So I'm really excited to dive in and for you to teach what you've been showing me all these years.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the awesome intro. Humbled and honored.
So Brian, why is inventory management so critical for e-commerce brands, especially the ones here in the apparel industry?
Inventory management is the key to success. You have to have good profits. You have to have good variety. You have to have reliable stock. And the only way you do that to maintain customer satisfaction is managing your inventory. You need to know when it's coming in, what it's doing, how quickly it's turning. This is all part of the process. Yeah, strong inventory management allows, for stronger profits. You're looking at reliable stock. You're looking at a variety of stock. Once you become a reputation of not having the product in-house, people start to move away from your brand. They don't think that you're able to produce at a level that you need to. So a strong inventory management philosophy and or plan in place allows you to keep everything that you need to keep in order to keep selling.
Yeah, definitely. So I know for me even, I went this last week to go buy a pair of joggers that I've been really wanting, but I went to go pull the trigger and sure enough, it was out of stock. And that is such a buzzkill for anybody. Unless your strategy really is about doing these limited edition drops where your goal is for it to sell out, you got to make sure your things are in stock within reason. You're never going to be perfect though.
Yeah, I hate to use the word trendy because it's overused, but trends are super important as far as like what you are into, what your customer base is into. You need to properly inventory plan for those scenarios where you know what your demand is, what's relevant at the time. So you're looking at a product that you can get within 4 weeks. You want to make sure you maintain that on the shelf, and you don't want to over produce. In those situations, you're paying more for storage than you are for the unit itself.
So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see brands make when it comes to inventory planning?
It's the killer of them all, not having a plan, not having an exit strategy, and not having a life cycle pre-existing. When you get into something, you want to know what this product will do for you, what your profit margins are, how quickly can you get it. And the adverse of that, you want to know how quickly you can get out of it if you need to. You're looking for how well it's performing. If it's underperforming, obviously you don't want an item that's underperforming to sit on your shelf for a really long time. You need to have that plan in place to know, when am I going to pull that trigger? Which direction am I going to go and when I'm going to go it? I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can execute on that, but you're looking specifically as like, how quickly am I turning this product? Have I seen continuous sales, or is it starting to diminish? And at that point, once you have that plan in place well enough in advance, you're going to know where your trigger points are. Don't waste profit in a storage location. Have a plan in place before you get into the product line.
Yeah, I cannot agree more, because one of the biggest things I see with so many brands is that they get really stubborn about old merchandise. that they've had for a long time. Maybe it's not good, they've outgrown it, and it's just sitting on a shelf. And they don't want to sell it off because they don't want to devalue their brand at
Mhm.
all, like put on clearance or anything like that. And they don't realize how much money they're actually wasting in warehousing. If it's not selling, it's almost better to give it away, destroy it, throw it out sometimes instead of just letting it sit there forever. And the exit strategy is so, so important for so many things.
A lot of stores don't want to appear as a discount location. So they'll put more money in continuously storing an item that's not moving. And before you know it, whatever you bought that originally as your unit price of whatever the number is, you're exponentially growing that price by paying storage over course of a years. We put together comprehensive reporting that allowed them to see that the items that weren't producing or selling within 90 days or 12 months was actually going to cost them more in the long run just to have it on the shelf because they didn't want to appear as a discount location.
So I know how important it is to have that exit strategy. In your opinion, what should a life cycle for a brand really look like? And what should be some of the signs that, okay, it is time to close it down and move on to something different?
You should know when you're ready to move away from a product if you're declining in sales. Obviously, any sales over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days are continuously diminishing. And then you get to, where it's 9 months or 12 months, your product's not moving anymore. Also, have your profit margins continue to shrink. You may be sourcing the goods outside of the US. You might be doing it internally, or your costs have continually risen. You can't get the same blanks that you were getting before at that same price. So now it's time to exit. Those are the signs. Like it's no longer profitable for me. It's not selling. I'm starting to pay more for storage. How do I move away from this product? And that's why having the exit strategy in advance will give you those trigger points in order for you to make those moves.
One of the biggest reasons why it's time to move on from a product is for most brands, they're always getting better. Designs are getting better, they're growing, they're understanding their niche better and what their customers actually want. And so it is so important that you're also freeing up the capital to put out the new products. And customers always want new, right?
Mhm.
They've had it for a long time. They're always looking for the newest thing. New is the best marketing tool. If you can look at your dead stock, the stuff that sales are dropping off, even if you're not going to make a profit off of it, whatever the last inventory is, if you could sell it off and get your money back and then reinvest that into the new products that your customers are actually going to want. That is such a big point for me.
Yeah, you don't want the perspective of your or perception of your brand to be that you're not innovative and that you're not trying new things or allowing your old items to phase out. You're also creating, a scarcity for it. So maybe it's a limited edition now because you don't have many left. There's many things that you can do in those situations. You can bundle them into your carts and make it where your cart value continues to go up. More items, the more you make in profit. Or, you can discount those to give yourself, the leeway to create those sales for yourself. But, the idea is to reduce your inventory down to zero the best you possibly can without losing profitability. The largest piece of advice I can give any startup company, any entrepreneur, is invest in technology. Allow technology to streamline your operation. You want to avoid the growing pains. You want to be able to scale. Those are the situations where you would need experts to lean on. It's one thing to do these things on your own and make these mistakes, but these can be costly. So allow us to be the partner for you to avoid those operational snafus.
Yeah. And I can tell you for firsthand from before Brian even came on, when we were doing our fulfillment operation, we did not have great technology. And I can't stress to you how many mistakes were happening because at that point, we did not know what we were doing and did not have the right technology in place to actually do things the right way. So orders were shipping out wrong, taking longer, all these type of issues where now, since Brian came in 6 years ago, he was able to transform our entire fulfillment operation, turn it into a legitimate 3PL and become a lot more efficient with a lot less errors going out, a lot less issues at the end of the day because of that technology. How does working with a fulfillment partner like Threadbird help brands really improve that inventory management?
We are a full service operation from ideation to production to full distribution. We leverage our WMS ability to manage the inventory in-house for our clients. So we also connect with multiple platforms in selling. So Shopify is one of those. So we'll see your order come over. We'll be able to full service that out the door. If you're not producing with us, if you are producing with us, then you have our full arsenal behind you of being able to create a product on your own, develop something, and then see it through. I mean, there's a reason why we have awesome inside on our boxes. It's because it's your creation that you have made that you're so proud of. Use us as your storage solution. You're not going to store all that in your garage. And even if you have a small scale warehouse, space is a premium. So square foot wise, you're going to be paying more, and you're going to have employees. There's going to be labor involved. Allow us to be your partner in that situation so you can focus on what you're the best at, which is marketing and or selling your brand or creating ideas that are going to continue to foster growth. That's what Threadbird can do.
I think one of the most undervalued parts is when you work with a company like Threadbird, it's not us just doing a service for you. You have our minds as well. You can hop on a phone call with us and talk about your struggles, what's going on. We're always looking at your information and your data and say, hey, here's what we think. Do you need help with this? What are you trying to do better? Here's an area that we think you're actually losing profits on and why we're doing that. We always want to educate our customers and make them better, because when you have somebody with 20 years of experience like you do, you're going to know things that the customer just does not. And it's our job to help you grow and get there and become the most profitable that you possibly can.
Agreed. You cannot put a price tag on experience. Knowing the ins and outs of the industry, as well as where the pitfalls are going to be, even from setting up your SKU correctly and making sure that things are coming over, or managing your inventory, we can do it all.
Yeah. And you have a full team behind you, which is amazing. Brian, thank you so much for being here today and answering these questions. And I really hope you guys got a lot out of it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. And more importantly, we hope you can really help your brand grow and go to the next level. Thank you so much for tuning in.